All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Way to a Great Marriage cast.
Hello.
Tonight we are going to have LaRonda sing one of Omi's songs that she wrote a long time ago. Omi is LaRonda's mother, and here is LaRonda.
Hello. Um, this one is written August the 27th, 1992. And it's called I Want to See Jesus. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I can see all the saints gathered round the throne. I'll just fall down on my face and thank him for his grace. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. What a happy time over there in that land so bright and fair, where the roses never fade, they'll die no more. He'll have his arms open wide when I get to the other side. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I can see all the saints gathered round that throne. I'll just fall down on my face and thank him for his grace. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I want to see his blessed face and thank him for his grace. The love he has I cannot understand, but when I see him over there, his blessings he will share. He'll tell me all about it, won't that be grand? I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I can see all the saints gathered round the throne. I'll just fall down on my face and thank him for his grace. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. I'll just fall down on my face and thank him for his grace. I want to see Jesus first of all when I get home. Amen. That's the truth.
Are you sure we didn't sing that song?
Nope. Nope. But we have sung some similar to it. We were a trio Southern gospel. Kind of sounds the same sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
So LaRonda doesn't know what we're talking about.
Have
tonight.
no clue.
Does anybody want to tell LaRonda what we're talking about tonight?
Please. I have no clue.
Well, we went to see a movie tonight, right?
We did.
Said that whenever that we went to see a movie, we talked about that movie.
Okay. Absolutely.
So let's talk about IF.
Invisible friends.
No, imaginary
I
friends.
know, I'm kidding. Because the one was invisible.
We had invisible friends.
Yes.
I was thinking before we went to see it, I would pretend that.
Here, scoot up a little bit because I'm looking back at you.
That my I had a pretend dad.
Oh, did you?
I had a dad, but the way that my dad went and visited my grandpa, he did, they cut hay together and all this, and so whenever my sister, there's a picture of me in mom's pant. I don't know what they are. What are those creeping clocks that you want to go
the creeping flock
over the bank?
The flocks.
The flocks.
Yeah. Creeping
flocks. I'm in her creeping flocks, and she comes out and she says, "What are you doing?" I'm mowing them down. So me and my pretend dad were mowing them down
with your little tractor.
Yeah, I was mowing that dad, and my pretend dad was raking it, raking the yard.
That's funny. And that's so sweet.
What was your pretend friend?
I never had a pretend friend. Chad did. He had two. He had Joe and Ty. Joe and Ty. And I asked him, I said, because I was thinking about him during this movie, and I said, Chad, where did Joe and Ty come from? He said, well, Joe's my friend. Okay. He said, but Ty, the inspiration song, he'll roll you over the tie. So he got that he got. And so if I made him peanut butter and graham cracker, I had to make Joe and Ty one. If I bought him underoos, I had to buy Joe and Ty some underoos.
Yeah.
Just so happened they were the same size as Chad.
Right. And I think this is a great idea that you have for rating movies, because this gives people ideas for date night.
It really
and this
does.
is a great little movie for date night.
I loved it.
Yes, I loved
Me and
it.
him cried like babies.
Oh, yes.
We cried our
This
eyes
is
out.
not for you empaths out there.
No.
You will die crying yourself
You will
to death.
cry yourself. You will laugh and cry. It's funny and
So I guess
sad.
it is a girl's movie.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, usually girls like crying.
Yeah, but you wouldn't expect to
Movies
cry
that
at
make
this
you
movie,
cry.
would you? It was about a little girl. It could be a family movie, I think.
Right. Well, it
It's
is
about
a
a little
family
girl.
movie,
Yeah.
but I mean, in date night, it is more of a girly movie.
Yeah,
because
it is.
It's one of those that makes you cry. Of course, I like movies that make you cry.
Yeah, you
And
do.
so,
Me and you love Jesus Revolution. We cried our eyes out on it. We saw it twice.
One of the things that reasons that it really hit me was, we'll get to that in a second, but
Okay.
I will start off with, and I noticed in the beginning, this girl was very rigid. She is,
Yes.
and she was a great actress to be able to pull that off at 12 years old.
Yeah, she was like,
to pull off like she's like, a 35-year-old.
she did.
I guess we have people out there that are in that field, so they're not saying what they are.
Yeah.
But somebody who had seen a lot of trauma, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And so she, she pulls off this, this wall.
She did.
She
had her wall up.
Nobody's coming in.
Nobody's touching me.
And I didn't really think about it in the beginning. I just thought it was just, they'd just gotten an actress that was, that's just her personality. But actually, that was part of the movie, was to show, I don't think I'm giving too much away. Her mom dies, and then her dad is
Very
dying.
ill.
She's about to lose him.
Yep.
And so she had become very callous. That's what.
Yes.
Callous.
Good word.
When her mom died. Depersonalization is usually a lot of things that happen psychologically. Yeah. To people like that. Yeah. What really hit me was what she does is kind of like what we do at Celebrate Recovery. She was taking these people. They had imaginary friends, and they had. An event had happened in their life, and they had basically the premise of the movie is this event in their life. They had stopped having their imaginary friend.
Yeah, they stopped believing.
They stopped. Let's stop saying their imaginary.
Yeah, they start seeing.
It sort of disappeared.
Yeah.
And so, but that's kind of reminded me of what we do in Celebrate Recovery. We take the people back to that time in their childhood, that traumatic time. Yes. They may not be able to talk about it. It's whatever they are able to do, but we're able to be there and walk them through it.
Absolutely.
At that time, and that's where it really hit me whenever whenever I was starting to guess what imaginary friend went with whom and what.
I did not guess hers. I never guessed hers. You did. I didn't.
Yeah, and what would make them be able to remember their imaginary friend? And so that's kind of what we, because that's kind of what we do at Celebrate Recovery is we take people back there. Sometimes if if they're suffering from post-traumatic stress like me, they've got to kind of just skip over it.
Right.
I was surprised, that the person we both have helped, they actually opened up and talked about the trauma of their early childhood.
Absolutely.
And I was really shocked that he was able to do that. Without it becoming a traumatic experience. And
I think it helped him.
And it helped.
It helped him.
And so, just being having somebody there that cares that you can relive that part of your life with, or at least try to label it. If you're suffering from post-traumatic stress, you just kind of want to label it. Like I was in a car wreck, in 2001. And we just that's all we say. I don't go into depth
You
on
don't go
that,
into
or
detail.
else I'm going to get very angry.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna really struggle. You know,
And I struggle with something too.
And so we, but you know, it was how that they kind of went back there, you know, in and you know, it's kind of how I was trained to deal with it kind of reminded me of the oneness, where that you know, the smells, or
you read my mind.
or the
I was thinking,
you know, well, one of the
song?
instances, the guy, the imaginary friend had told her that his family owned a bakery.
Yes.
And so she went to, and so I said, I yelled out, croissants. And then she runs off and she goes to the bakery. I'm sure she goes to his family bakery.
Yes.
And comes back with 3 big, huge croissants, and he's sitting there smelling it. And then he starts bonding with his imaginary friend again.
Well, see,
but you know, and so that's part of the training for oneness is you put yourself in the moments. You know what you smell, and what you hear, what you see, what you taste. You go through all the senses to bring yourself into reality. And so,
well, have y'all ever heard a song come out, oldies, you know, maybe from the 80s? Boom, it takes you right back to what you were doing the very first time you heard that song.
And that's what I was afraid of, you know, whenever I started watching the movie If, because we do have in Celebrate Recovery the only ifs.
Only ifs.
And, you know, and how that you want to avoid the only ifs. You know, only if I'd done this, only if that had happened, only if my mom hadn't died in this case, you know, my life would have been different. But that wasn't what the movie was about.
No.
But it is about reminiscing. You know, she finds a picture of her and her mom on the beach, where she skips over that book.
Well, don't you think though that it is a healing? When you really truly reminisce or something like that, or if you're at Celebrate Recovery in small group and you do reminisce about something that was hurtful and you feel like sharing it, then when you share it, it seems like takes some of the load off of you. You know, when you share it.
And one of the things is, it kind of reminded me, it was hard for me not to see Natalie.
I knew that.
I
knew that.
Whenever.
Yeah.
When I was watching it, you know, now that she was very imaginative as a kid, you know, she would dress up Kim and Heather and Grandma. She'd give Grandma my mom a cane, and they'd all parade through in their costumes, and how she had underneath the apple tree behind the well, she had her little village
play place.
Her little play place. And so it kind of, you know, that there was a lot there, and you know, I was thinking, you know, how that it probably really benefit Natalie. I don't know. If she could come back to that play place and just sit there and
let nobody bother her.
Just sit there, just enjoy it, and that sort of thing.
Now, I've never met Natalie, but I saw Natalie from everything that everybody's told me in that movie. I did.
Oh, you did?
The whole time. I wanted to say that, and I didn't want to say that to you because I didn't want to hurt you, but because I know you. But if Natalie ever watches this, we love you, Natalie.
Right.
We tell her that we love you and want you to come back
to
your
I'm talking about how creative she was. That girl, you know, was very creative. And I think that's what it is another thing that is in the movie. It's these tragic events causes people in their childhood to give up or stop things that they were doing. Like, you know, she was a storyteller.
Yes.
And then so she goes and tells her dad the story of what of herself, of what she's been going through. And so, you know, that's what happens is this this life event, it can get the person stuck in
Absolutely.
in a limbo that they can't get out of.
We're talking about from a young person all the way up to older people.
Right.
Stuck. The whole
Still, whatever, what happened to them as a kid, to me, I know probably it was whenever my grandmother died. I was 12 years old, and and I spent a lot of time. I spent as much time up there as I did in mom and dad's. It was with her, and she was somebody I could confide in. But whenever I lost that, that was kind of devastating.
You had a loss, a major loss in your life,
and so you have to deal with those things, and that's what we do at Celebrate Recovery. We go back and we don't want to necessarily dig up those things, but those things are already dug up. They're there just below the surface and affecting your everyday life, and you just go. Now we're dealing with them instead of just hiding them under the surface.
Yeah, me and my family, my brother, my son, my brother's children, losing dad and losing really who my mom was has been very devastating for us.
Right. You weren't able to, because you didn't have a funeral for your dad.
No.
Because it was during COVID. You really haven't had that ability to
mourn, really.
to do that that grief and that mourning like you need to.
Yeah, that's true. And so that maybe reminded me of a whole lot of things of myself that I've not really probably dealt with all the way.
Right.
That I need to deal with all the way. That's the reason I go to Celebrate Recovery. It helps me.
But like I was saying is, probably as Christians, we need to be able to see in people, what their event is.
Right.
I feel like I have a gift or ability to see, what has harmed people. That empathy.
You do.
Empaths have that ability to see what has harmed people in their past and have that great empathy with them. Yeah. And that's why it was so hard for me to watch it, because I can empathize so deeply with them, and that's very hard to do.
And even at the end, one of the ifs, we were very empathetic with them, hers.
Yeah, and he had her if had become callous too.
Yes, yeah.
And
totally.
I didn't realize that either, because he was kind of trying to stay away from her.
Yes.
Because really it was hurting him to be around her. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
As the movie was going.
I didn't either. Listen, it's a great movie, you all. I mean, no joke. It's a kids movie. You think it's a kids movie?
Well, for probably
it's really
like
not.
12
years and up.
12-year-old girl is kind of what the center of the movie is. So that's kind of what it would be for. Going through. I liked it much better than it's a Paramount. It's the Disney.
Yeah.
And so
that was a nice surprise.
The emojis one.
Inside Out.
Inside Out. It's the same thing. The girl was going through. A change of life there.
She was.
From 12 to 13 is, for a girl is a big change. And then dealing with all that she was dealing with, it is more than adults can handle.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going into puberty and you go into your ladyhood and things from a child it throws you into being an adult. A girl really fast.
Right.
And
that was my first impression, is that this girl had adult situations placed on her,
grown up too fast,
and she grew up too fast.
Yes, yeah.
In the beginning,
but we didn't tell them that her mother told her, "Don't you quit ever telling stories. You keep telling your stories." That was at the very beginning, so I'm not giving anything away.
Right.
Remember, keep telling your stories. I really didn't know that it would have that big of an impact on the movie, but it did.
Right.
You know, it really did. So we enjoyed it. Braden enjoyed it. He's almost 16. I think you really liked it too.
Right.
I
And it's not a cartoon.
It wasn't a cartoon.
movie. We were kind of disappointed. Ryan Reynolds was in it, so I was thinking maybe he's had kids. I mean, like, how can he make a kids movie?
Yeah, being pretty rough. Being pretty rough.
But there is quite a bit of using God's name in vain in the movie.
Well, they didn't say GD, but they said God a whole lot.
Well, in the parental guide that I looked it up,
Yeah.
there's a couple of words that were used. I forgot what they were.
The D word and the H word.
Okay.
Both of those were words.
Those were used. A PG movie has at least one cuss word.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a PG and a G-rated movie.
Yeah.
This is a PG movie.
Yeah.
But it did say that there was quite a few instances of using God's name.
Yes, there was.
And so,
but I just wanted them to know it wasn't the
right.
GD word.
Right.
But they did say
it's more subtle, but it
was.
is Ryan Reynolds. He is. It does have that problem.
He's a rough.
I wondered how in the world he could even do a PG movie.
I know.
After some of the, after Paul, I forget what the name is. Deadpool.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I mean, the language was really rough.
Yes.
I mean, really,
it was raunchy.
It was.
He said, "This is not a kids movie. Don't
bring your kids
to see it." He said himself.
Yeah.
And then the Waiters movie too.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
Yeah.
He's just been in
raunchy,
some raunchy movies. He and he has that kind of depersonalization issues too.
Wasn't he in that one movie with
Sandra
yes.
Bullock, where they have to pretend like
they're married, so she don't get deported.
So she doesn't get deported, and then they wind up falling in love.
They fall in love and get married. Yes.
Yes. So I guess that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That he was in.
Yeah, he didn't. There wasn't a lot of cussing or nudity or anything in it, so it was good. But we're not movie critics, but we thought we would.
But it might be a good idea to
like that.
date night movie critics.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When we have a date night, even though we always bring Braden and Joe, but I mean, so what you can have fun together.
Absolutely.
With the kids, you don't have to feel like you have to isolate them.
No.
And Braden's not too clingy. He's probably more so with LaRonda than me.
Yeah.
But if you have trouble with, there are some cases where the step kids can be jealous of the
stepmom,
the stepmom or stepdad,
or stepdad,
and be trying to become a wedge between them. Or you may have kids that are the same way.
Absolutely,
they demand all of your attention. I don't. That is usually because at some point the parent has not given them the attention that they needed.
Right.
And so they are afraid of they have abandonment issues.
But now I have to say,
I don't really know how to get past that. I've worked through that a couple of times, but I've never really figured out how to get them past that abandonment issues once it's happened.
Yeah. Well, and I've got to say, even Braden, he'll be 16 in a couple of weeks, and he's all the time saying, "Doggy, you and Dad need to go out on a date by yourself." We're like, well, we love having you with us, so because pretty soon he won't want to be with us. So.
Right, he was there.
We'll miss
our
him.
First date at church.
Very first date, he was with
we
us.
went to Olive Garden with him after.
We did, and
but there was times where we didn't have him, and we had
date nights.
Date nights.
Too. Several.
We used to go. That's whenever we would go to Nashville or to Louisville or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And just hit
Knoxville. We went to Knoxville.
The towns around and walk around. I remember you were scared to death. That was during the
COVID.
The Black Lives Matters time and the rioting going on, and you were like, we're walking around downtown
midnight
in a major city.
Midnight, walked across the bridge, And then we walked across the bridge and walked
And I'm
through
like,
town.
you're the one with the black belt in karate.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm still a scaredy cat. Black belt or not. I'm sorry.
You're the one I want that it's going to protect me.
No. But I'll tell you what he did. He put me, instead of being on the street, he put me on the inside of it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That one, I felt safer that way anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. That has changed over the years. My mother taught me, to walk on the street side for the women. Back in whenever it was first, back in actually the, what is it called? The chivalry days of chivalry.
Chivalry.
The man actually walked on the inside.
Oh, really?
Yes, because people would throw their urinals out the window.
Chamber pot out the window.
Chamber pot out the window.
Oh my!
So that the man would get hit if that happened.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh.
Well, he was supposed to take. I don't know. I would just leave it there. He was supposed to take his coat off and put it over a puddle.
Oh yeah, no.
I think
I would say I'll just go around it.
I'll just leave my coat there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he needed it for the next.
Exactly.
The next mud hole. Their streets were made out of mud.
Maybe he had 4 or 5 coats on at the time. Who knows? Yeah. But I know we enjoy that. But we don't go to the movies a lot. We don't.
Well, and really after COVID, and the way that they, and there's no reason that they should have shut down the movies during COVID. I still am not. After COVID, I kind of did not want to go to the movies again.
I know.
And a lot of people have been at the movie theater every time we ever go. Is basically empty.
Today
there was probably less than 10 people.
Oh, and that row by us left.
Well, yeah, whenever it got too personal.
Yeah, that row left.
The man, when we came in, they were taking up our seats.
They did.
And we started to sit down. He said, "Oh, those are taken."
Those are taken.
And then we sat down, and Miranda's like, "That man is
that
angry.
man's not very nice.
He's not very nice."
He's not nice.
And I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll sit on the other end of you," because they were in the middle. They had put down the middle seats where I always want to get.
Yeah.
And then so if they had shifted to one side, then
we
just were able to shift over to the other side.
But they were.
That tells you that he had issues, and when we really got to really dealing with some of these issues in the movie, that's whenever he left. That's whenever they got up and left.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, because and that's sad that he wasn't able to sit through a movie with his
children.
With his children,
yeah,
because of something that happened to him probably in his past.
And his dad was with him.
His
dad was with him at the other end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was him and his children and his dad sitting on the other end.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't look over there or anything like that. Because
his dad
told me he was angry, so I wasn't make eye contact.
And his dad finally left too. So
really?
They all left. But Terry, we were just
he
talking
left
about
first, and then
his dad left.
Did he leave whenever he took the little kid to the bathroom?
And never came back.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then his dad probably went out to see what happened. They never came back.
I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, Terry, we've been talking about the movie we went and seen.
The movie If.
The movie If is so good.
It's capital I, capital F. It's Imaginary Friends is what it stands for.
Yeah. What did she say? Just hi.
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 Anyway, if none of you want to ask questions or make comments, we've got 4 people on the line.
Hey, guys.
I guess we could close, but if you have questions, we'll be glad.
Any questions, fine.
Or comments, we'd be glad to address them.
Yeah,
but I think it's a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up
for If.
For If, yes. Adults as well as children over 12. I
think if Rhonda can get past the using the Lord's name in vain, I think you can too.
Well, like I said,
we need to get those. We need to get like a hearing aids for you that are like
bleep out like the Guardian.
Yeah, have Guardian in them.
But now it didn't say the D word after God.
Yeah,
But they said
it was more like it was.
Oh my goodness! Only they said, "Oh my."
Yeah. It's OMG.
OMG. Yeah, they said that.
I
several times.
And I try to correct people who do that. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious.
Put that in your brain instead of the other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the only really bad thing that's in the whole movie is they said OMG a lot. And, I mean, that's what I thought anyway. But I never did. Oh, okay, well, I won't talk about that because I don't want to give nothing else away to anybody.
Else, so not. It's one of the 10.
Oh,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And like we said, they didn't say GD. They didn't say that. But they said, oh my.
But in the parental advisory, it does say that it took the name of God in vain. So I didn't really, it wasn't that, it wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
But it, but it was borderline.
It was. I looked over at Tony first time they said it and was like,
let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. And I said, well, you got that's their one.
That's a
actually,
PG.
There was about 6.
Yeah.
In this one. So. But
you can look parental stuff up about it, and they'll tell you it was a really good movie. I say over 12 years old. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, it's PG.
I wouldn't take Hope to see it.
6.
Yeah. I wouldn't take Hope to see it.
It might be a little bit too.
It'd be too much.
Yeah, but between 6 and the PG's from 6 to 12.
Yeah, but this one really, I think, was for older kids. Okay. I really.
Well, you probably would have given it a PG-13.
I would have. Yeah, I'd have given it a PG-13. Yeah, any child over 12 could have understood the storyline.
Right.
I don't think Hope would have. She wouldn't have got it. Right. I just think it wouldn't for kids under 12. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Right.
So, but I enjoyed it. Thank you for taking me.
They might have enjoyed the cartoon characters.
Yes.
There was cartoon characters.
There were life-size, way bigger than me and you.
Which is actually that's more difficult to do.
Yeah.
So that's.
It was a good movie. Yeah, I liked it. I would watch it again. Yeah, I sure would. But that's all I've got for tonight.
All right.
And come here, Katie Bug.
We better say our
good night. Oh, don't forget to share and stuff.
Yes,
oh my goodness! Yes.
Like, comment, which means ask questions.
Please, like Terry does.
We'll take up. Maybe we'll take up a whole Waycast if you ask a good enough question. On it. Come on, Annabelle. You don't have to be left out.
Annabelle wants to join in. Come on, Annabelle.
Come on, up here.
There you go.
Yes.
There's our Annabelle.
There you go.
There's our Annabelle.
And, share, since I'm not on social media. If you'd share for me, I appreciate it. And hit the
ding, ding, ding notification.
And so that you can be notified the next time we come on. Usually we're on a little bit earlier, but we just got into the movie.
Oh.
It must have been a long movie because it was started at 7:10.
Yeah.
And we got home probably about a little after 10.
It's an hour and a half long, I think, because it didn't really start to 7:30.
Okay.
20 minutes of previews.
I see. They make you feel like you got your money.
They do. They do.
All righty. So,
thank you for joining.
So with that, we say. Be made in my heart. Good night, sleep tight, a pleasant dreams to you. There's a wish and a prayer that every dream comes true. And now till we meet again. Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.
Good night. We love you.